I don't know if you've seen my first video on the mosquito sprayer, the home-built mosquito sprayer I made. I've made a few, several modifications to it actually, and I want to show those to you now. If you haven't seen the video, there's a link in the description, and that's what's playing in the background. I've made a few improvements on it that I'll go over when I'm showing you the new rig that make it a little more usable and a little more durable. And go kill some mosquitoes with me. All right, video coming up. So really there's only two major changes from the old rig versus the current setup. The old rig I was using milk jugs, and for the new setup I'm using this water bottle. It's more sturdy and it holds more. I was finding like when you can go through 2 gallons or 4 gallons in a half hour, the 1 gallon jug just wasn't doing it, and they would collapse, they'd crush as I use them because there was the vacuum. So this is a pretty sturdy jug. I found this, I think, at Walmart. Any jug that will do, you're going to want a handle. I'm trying to find something I can use as a backpack because this sucker gets heavy when I've been spraying for an hour or so, because I do 3 yards at a time. So the first key thing I wanted was a sturdy cap. There's no sturdy cap, and I drilled a small hole in it so I don't have the vacuum issue. Downside of that is that, of course, if you put this down sideways, you're going to spill everything, so I just never do that. This one, since this is a small opening, was a challenge to get the fitting in there, but it's the same sort of fitting I showed you in the previous video, these brass fittings that are under here. And I used a gasket, a homemade rubber gasket. You can buy that at any hardware store. I think I got mine at Ace. And this is another change I made. I just had vinyl tubing, 1/2 inch inside diameter. This is 1/2 inch inside diameter, but it's this reinforced stuff, because I was getting a lot of kinking with the old stuff. I don't get any kinking with the reinforced stuff. You want a 1/2 inch inside diameter. I had tried different sizes, slightly bigger, slightly smaller. Bigger ones were letting in too much poison come out. Even though I got a valve on this setup now, the big ones were letting too much come out at a time. It was kind of hard to regulate that, and the small ones weren't letting enough. It was taking forever. So big bottle, sturdy bottle with a handle, hole in the cap, sturdy cap. The brass fittings, this is a nipple or a barb under here, and the two are just screwed together. You'll probably want a bigger opening than that so you can get your hand inside the bottle, but if you can't find that, you can use different tools and tricks to get the two connections connected. So the reinforced vinyl tubing, 1/2 inch inside diameter hose clamps. This is just a little valve. You can find that in the plumbing section to turn it on and off. That's the closed, that's the open, like that. This is a really big deal because this makes it so much easier when you're halfway through to stop spraying and adjust whatever you need to adjust, or just take a break, adjust your cord. This is a cheap, old Black & Decker blower. I have newer ones. I just keep using this one because this one is dedicated specifically to the bug spraying. A small gas one might be a better choice, so you don't have to worry about a cord. This is obviously electric. And just zip tied in place. This is PEX tubing. You can find this at any hardware store. And I cut PVC to hold this in place so the PEX doesn't wiggle around on the blower. I used a heat gun to flare that out, and you'll see in the video later how well that works. That drops it out, and you'll need to experiment with this to get this to work just right for you. But that's flared out, obviously, and that helps the atomization of the spray as it comes out. I tried just without it being flared. It didn't work real well. So flaring it out and flattening it, and then serrating the edges a little bit really helped. Now I've tried different poisons. There's a lot of poisons you can get. These cost both about $10 a bottle, and the concentration is about the same. The triazicide I find works the best. This is about $10 a bottle, and 3 of these will last me all summer. I'm in Georgia, in the southeast. We have mosquitoes like you wouldn't believe. This stuff is fantastic. It stinks a little bit, but well worth it. And that's what I use. So there's the whole setup. So I did get a little feedback with the last video about people saying I needed some sort of respirator, and it was good that I got that feedback, because I thought, oh yeah, you're right, I kind of do. So I got this one from the hardware store. It was like 40 bucks. This part actually cost more than the entire setup. But, you know, not getting cancer, not dying early, I think it's worth it. So if you're doing this, you're spraying triazicide or any other thing, look for them, find a good one that actually is designed for that kind of thing, and carry on, go kill some mosquitoes with me. Prevent the world from getting Zika and all that jazz. All right, peace.